Okay, great. So I'm Kent Langley. I am going to be your moderator and host today. That was Nikki, and she is going, I'm just not even going to foul them away. Did I get it? I don't know. So Nikki, thank you so much for bringing us on here today and making this come together. We're going to have Salim Ismail, the author of the book Exponential Organizations and my co-founder at ExO. And chairman, there he is. Look at that. We also have Kieran McLeod. Kieran is our special guest today, and I will introduce him when I bring him on, but I'm really excited to have him on as a CEO of his company and an advisor to various forms of enterprise finance. We're going to have a live panel with Salim, myself, and Kieran, where we're going to talk about a number of things related to decentralized finance in general. And then there are a ton of updates. We're going to have updates on the older program we ran, the 30-day doubling challenge. We've got a gamified challenges demo. We've got ExO's Learn, Earn, and Invest demo. We've got an Exoskeleton Roadshow. That's super special. Hang on for that one. And then we've got a next gen. What are we doing? A pre-recorded next gen economy podcast, State of. That's a surprise to me, so I'm looking forward to that one as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Salim, welcome. As I barely did, you also made it to the show.
Good to be here. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Look great, sound great.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome to be here. I think there's a ton of stuff moving along. I think over the last month, as Bitcoin has resurrected a little bit and the bear market looks to be at least on pause, I think there's enormous opportunities going forward.
Salim, before we jump in, we do have just a couple minutes. And one of the things I would ask is, I talk to you every day. We work together every day. So sometimes we just blow right by things. But if you had to take a step back and remember, we did 8 of these previously, remember? A lot of things have changed. If you had to go, the thing that's really caught my attention or blown my mind or anything since the last town hall series ended and today, is there anything on your mind that you would kind of surface?
I think we have enormous. Traction happening in the crypto space. That would be the thing that I think would be most relevant. And I think there's it feels to me like the '99 bubble and collapse is over in the .com world, and now we're on a steady growth state going on for the last years. And so that's where I think there's one more pain point left to unravel in the cryptocurrency space, and then everything kind of starts leveling off from there.
You want to let us in on what you think the pain point is, or is it just general?
The pain point is there's a whole bunch of question marks about Tether and the trading on Bitcoin and Tether, and some question marks around how well they're capitalized or not. And I think once some people say that's already priced into the crypto world. Other people say that bombshell is yet to go off. I think that will be the last illegitimacy being ironed out of the system. I think one of the most exciting things that I saw was El Salvador accepting Bitcoin. And I expect now, we expected that, by the way, we predicted that a small country would accept Bitcoin as legal tender. Every finance minister in the world out of 200 countries is looking at that. And at some point, they're going to go, this just makes sense. And we'll just start a ripple effect going down that path. For those folks that aren't aware, 3-4 months ago, we did a 2-hour webinar on why fiat currencies will fail and why Bitcoin cannot not succeed. So if you're interested in that kind of discussion, go check that out. But we're very, very excited about the future.
That's awesome. And, I think what I've noticed is that the projects that I'm encountering that are using blockchains, that are using cryptocurrencies, they're much more mature. This is kind of, I saw a post by a friend of mine on Facebook, is hangover or overhang, right? So we've had a little bit of both. There was a lot of partying and a lot of hangovers, and then we've got some overhang like you're talking about, which are these things that are yet to unravel, that need to work themselves through the system. But I've been incredibly encouraged by the maturity and the focus of some of the teams that I've seen. One of the things that caught my attention a lot was MakerDAO. MakerDAO has the maturity to dissolve itself into a truly distributed autonomous organization, including the conveyance of the value that they've generated together. That was the MakerDAO treasury. They've handed it over to the community to govern. I just thought, the foresight to get to there, the execution, the planning, the public relations management, it's been something to watch. And I've learned a lot by watching that project. And I don't think that was possible just a very few short years ago to actually even operate that way and do those kind of things. So amazing things going on. So, Salim, in the last couple of minutes before we cut over into the next part, do you have any other types of more general announcements that you want to make from the OpenExO ecosystem, community, projects, anything on your mind? I know you've got another edition of the book coming out. I know that there are a lot of things going on. Anything you want to share?
I think probably the big one is going to be the second edition of the book is now in full writing mode. We've gathered all the content for it. We're knocking out a chapter or two every week now, and the first draft is aiming to be ready in about 4 to 5 weeks. So that's super exciting in terms of the community, the ecosystem. It's been 7 years that people have been saying, when's the second edition coming out? And the trauma of actually putting the book out the first time around, the emotional scars from that still linger, and that's prevented me from really going full bore into it. But it actually turns out to be a happy coincidence, because if we'd launched that second edition before anywhere a year or more ago, it'd be totally irrelevant in the face of the pandemic. The world has fundamentally changed. And maybe the point that I think is worth, there's two things that are in the current affairs that are worth just talking about for a second. One totally unrelated to crypto, and one very related to crypto. The crypto one and where we are right now is some commentary by Jeremiah Owyang and Peter Diamandis, who said, we've survived the pandemic because of all of the EXO companies out there like Uber Eats and DoorDash and Zoom and all of the Web 3.0 tools that allow peer-to-peer, allow us to work from home, etc. These are all platform-based gig economy, staff on demand, leveraging community companies with an MTP, and we see that. So EXOs have basically helped us survive the pandemic, which is an interesting paradigm. The second one I won't get into because it has to do with the vaccine and Corona and COVID, et cetera. But I think we're kind of starting to see a very clear way ahead now. The most exciting news I got yesterday from a tweet by Daniel Kraft said that these mRNA vaccines may provide years of immunity from Corona. So that's super exciting. So a bunch of things happening, but overall, I think I'm really, really optimistic where we are and where the world is over the next few months.
That's fantastic. And just so everybody out there knows, the OpenExO community meets and talks and transacts over at the platform.openexo.com. There's forums there, and every day people are dropping in reports of the impact projects that they're running on a global basis. The way that ties to the ExO economy is many of those projects are partially funded by our digital native currency that runs on our blockchain, EXOs. And so this event here is even a celebration of that in many ways. And if you want to get involved, just head over to platform.openexo.com or www.openexo.com/community. Join there, find your way to the platform, say hi. That'd be fantastic. I believe we're ready to roll the next portion. This is going to be the State of the Economy videos. Is that right, team?